Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. This is the first video I've done post-season. I've took me 2-week break, 3-week break, just an absolute horrendous season. Tense every week, even international break. I didn't want it to be over, and yeah, weeks flew by, games passed, nerves increased, and yeah, Everton somehow got themselves out of it. And I thought now start doing some videos throughout the summer. You know, news, any latest news, incomings and outgoings. And yeah, I'm gonna speak about it. I thought I'd do it today because we have in the past 3 or 4 hours we've found the news that Denise Barrett-Baxendale, Grant Ingles and Graham Sharp have left the club. 3 directors, absolute fantastic news. I think this was news we was potentially waiting for directly after the season finished. But look, it's come a little bit later. Maybe there's just been a ton of meetings since then. A lot of thinking going into this. Who's at fault, who's not. But the club's been ran horrendously for God knows how long. And I think it's about time that we need to make swift changes. There's news as well that Bill Kenwright, position at Everton as a chairman, could be in doubt in the next 48 hours. The club are addressing his role and his future, because it's just been a shit show. I think we kind of let it off last season because we might have thought this could have been just a blip. A few little clever signings might push Everton up the table, but it made us worse. Even though it felt weird, because it felt the season before felt worse. I don't know what it was. I was hoping when it comes to the Brighton game, after beating Brighton, that we'll pick up a few points, and I think we lost the next 2 games before we drew 1 and then lost 1 before we played Bournemouth at home. And to be honest, we're very lucky to be in this league. I think other teams in and around us completely capitulated. And 36 points, I think we got, 35, isn't really normally enough to stay in the Premier League this season, yes, but as history tells, it's not. And I think we're very lucky to still be in this division. I'll put this other light on. And yeah, we've got to now start thinking, how are we going to progress from this, and changing some of the board is a good idea. It's the only way up. I think the recruitment, the direction of the club, the way they handle situations, the way they kind of papered over the cracks over the time. I don't think us fans have been addressed enough. And it's just been a shit show. So new changes, scary times ahead. You know, we don't know what the future lies for us financially as well, with, you know, potential court cases going against us. I mean, I've just seen Ancelotti's trying to sue the club as well. And listen, let's not take this to heart. I think Ancelotti loved the fans and does like the club and stuff, but if he felt like he's being done wrong, then he has every right to sue the club, because I wouldn't be surprised if we've been doing every sort of deal and sponsorship and any sort of deal going through with the club, I feel has been sketchy or just not done with the right professional standards. So that's happening as well. And yeah, you know, we've seen all the stadium stuff coming out, the progression of it. Of course, that's going to be a thing for any club, especially like an exciting project like that. But they really now, like, it's midway through June. There's other teams in and around us making signings. There's other teams being sharp and quick and changes at the club, and yes, we've done that today, but I don't want this just to be the last thing for like a month or so. I want more changes. I want incomings and outgoings. You know, we've heard the news that Tom Davis has been offered a new contract for some fucking reason now. He must make good cakes or something. I'm gonna fucking clue. He must be a good lad to go out for the bevy with. I don't know what he contributes to the club. Yes, he's a boyhood Evertonian, but you've got to be ruthless in this game. Like, and I know we need squad depth and that, but is he though? Is he? Would I rather just go someone a bit younger maybe and has at least some potential about them, that we don't just use them as a squad player, and we hope that we can push them through and potentially be a starter one day. You know, other teams do. I don't think anyone in the top 6 or 7 have players, and I'm not saying we're anywhere near there, but I just don't see many teams having players just there for the sake of it. Especially big sides, and if that's what we want to be ambitious and achieve, yeah. I'll do the side of it, understand financially that we can't just go out and buy about 10 new players and bulk the squad up and that. I understand that, but I don't know. I would have rather kept Townsend, to be honest. As daft as it seems, his long-term injury, yes, we don't know what he's like now. That type of injury, I mean, finishing early the end of the season before and then completely ruled out for this season at his age as well. Maybe there's too many negatives and red flags for him to continue his career at Everton and be part of a squad trying to stay away from relegation. So look, there's so many different factors into it, and I just don't trust the club making decisions like that. I really don't. So if I was in another club and I trusted, you know, the way, the philosophy of the club, how it's run and how they're strategic and everything they do, and if there's a plan and the progression, then yeah, probably I'll accept something like this happening. But I'm going to be against it because of the way the club's been for years. And like I said, making changes today is a very good start. Bill Kenwright's the next one, and then, you know, the owner, Farhad Mashiri's questionable because it's just a lot of, sometimes you can make too many big moves at once. You know, you need to plan properly and make sure you're making the right call on things. And obviously money talks, business is difficult to change, and, you know, pulling out of a business and then trying to find someone suitable enough to take it over. There's so many different factors into changes at a club. It's not as simple as buy, come in. But the 3 directors today had to go, in my opinion. Just not seeing anything which has progressively helped the club, not just on the pitch, off it as well. You know, the youth academy as well, nothing's coming really from there. Ellis Sims, maybe, you know, there's talk of what's his name, Cannon. I forgot his first name. Tom Cannon, is it? You know, there's talk of him, and he's, you know, having aspirations of doing well at Everton and scoring in front of the crowd, and making his mark this season. It's a big, you know, it's big words, but like I said, we don't know. It's a 50-50 with any youth player. But it's good that, you know, I wouldn't say there's much coming out of the academy at the moment, but, you know, you've got to keep your hopes on Ellis Sims and Tom Cannon. Say the biggest stars out of the academy in the past couple of seasons. So, yeah. Other news of, you know, transfer news that Pickford is a target for Manchester United, which is something that we're expecting. But I've seen his statements. Don't know if it's completely true that he wants to stay at the club. He's happy here. His family's happy here. He wants Everton to push on, and he wants to be a part of that, which is great. Pickford has his moments, but overall, a goalkeeper that really shouldn't be at our club. England number one for a reason. And I've seen in the past few weeks Onana's a potential to leave 50-50 on that. He's come out with some of the statements and captions on his Instagram at the end of the season where it makes you think. One which has actually made the news is that Fulham are interested in Damari Gray, and it's one of them where it depends how much. It depends how much. I think if it was a good price, I think Everton will let him go. If it's something that we feel like he's undervalued a little bit, he is kind of essential to the squad at this moment of time because of, again, the numbers and what he can bring, and he's a bit different to some of the players. Yes, he isn't fantastic. I don't, beg him to come onto the pitch when we're losing a game. But he's got something about him. And yeah, it's then who you can replace him with. That's the difficulty of the transfer window and who's going to want to come to us. So look, there's a lot of clubs trying to get business done early. Where I think we're going to be careful in what we're doing. We've heard the news of Connor Cody's. This is for an example. Connor Cody, we didn't buy him. A buying option for 4.5 million. I think the deadline was the 31st of May, and we didn't take it up. So he's returned back to Wolves, and it doesn't mean that's over, you know what I mean? I think Wolves, depending on what direction they want to go, Cody could be a potential suitor for us in the next month or so. The value might change, I'm not too sure. It just depends how things go. Sheffield United look like a team who would want to go for Cody. Premier League experience. And like I said, it depends how Sheffield United as well want to, set up. Cody's well known to being better in a back three than a back four or back five. Well, back three is part of back five. You got wing backs, but you know what I mean. It's just, there's a lot going on. There will be a lot going on in the next few weeks. I have no fucking idea who could come in at Everton and improve their squad. We're just going to have to hope that Sean Dyche and Kevin Fairwell create some magic and bring some players in with potential as well, that they've got something about them. I'm looking at next season and I'm just, there's players out there who haven't played as much this season, like James Garner, who to me could step up next season and be a starting figure. But yeah, there's so many players that could get their shot next season. With the likes of Yerry Mean leaving. And I don't think we bought Cody because we've got too many centre-backs at the club who are not... I'm not as much interest for other clubs to go for because of what they've achieved at Everton in a sense and how they've played at this club for the past couple of seasons, especially. There's not many teams who are going to want to take a risk and purchase them type of players unless you see potential and we're not using them players right. The likes of Godfrey, Holgate, Keane, Tarkowski would be staying. But yeah, them three will be very hard to leave. You've got Branthwaite coming in. Played at PSV. I think they won a trophy or title. It's one of them. It's a different league. He's probably learned a lot. I hope he has. He looks like a player who is, a modern day centre back who can play with the ball. We've had the likes of John Stones. I think the last player to be like that and prove that he's quality and he's took the move to City a number of years ago and now he's won a treble at City and he's playing. He's up there as one of the best centre backs in the world at the moment. So I think Branthwaite will get his chance. Like I said, a season for whoever. In a side with the pressure of PSV, it's I know it's not a massive league, but they played in Europe as well. We would have learned a lot from that, and it's just the pressures of playing for the biggest kind of club like that. Expectations and whatnot, fighting with Ajax and other sides up there in the Eredivisie or however you say the fucking league's name. So you would learn something from it. We just don't know how much. Yeah, there's news as well. There's been transfer rumours that Diallo, I think his name is, Ahmed Diallo from Sunderland. I don't know if he was on loan at Sunderland. I think he was. So he might have gone back to Manchester United now. But, you know, that's another player who, to me, looks like he's got something about him. You know, it's one of them players who can make it or break it, I believe. I feel like he has potential, but I feel like, you know, when you look at Damari Gray sometimes, for example, he looks like he has potential. He had it at Leicester and then he's kind of drifted away. Now he's become a substandard type of player. It's up to Diallo to step up. Like I said, if he makes the move to Everton, we go in for him. It could be a really underrated signing, and you know, he could either blow up or blow down. You know, it just depends. It all matter. You know, it all depends on how we bring him in and nurture him and make sure he's getting the best correct advice and tips. And you know, we need to understand. I feel like sometimes as well we need to understand the players as well. Some players like to be shouted at. Some players like their arm around them. I feel, you know, you need to. That's very important for the young player coming in. So someone like him, who showcases abilities in the Championship, which isn't an easy league by no matters. Unlucky kind of something not to go off. So he was the bright spark for them. And you just, you know, sometimes we've done it in the past, taking hits on Championship players, and yeah, I think we'd get a decent price for them as well. So what the hell's that on my leg? He's one of them I'm looking at. But obviously, the biggest the biggest position we need to fill is obviously strikers. You know, Mopay, I don't know how he could possibly be at Everton Football Club next season, and who the fuck will go in for him. I haven't got a clue. Yeah, there's so much is going to happen the next few weeks. I'll be doing videos non-stop, giving my thoughts on latest incomings and outgoings, and other changes to the board, and yeah. And also, I know not everyone's going to get to the end of the video, but I am thinking of doing potentially other videos based on Premier League and stuff as well, not just solely focused at Everton Football Club. But I said it's one of them. It's something I would be interested in, but maybe make a new channel over it, and then try and collaborate the two. Who knows? But yeah, this is my first video since the season ended. I'm trying to think positive. I'm trying to look forward. I might do a video of my predictions, my early predictions before any major transfers happen and any major changes to any clubs, and pre-season after and how clubs are looking and teams are looking. I might do my early pre-season prediction, and then might do another one at the end of the transfer window. And then maybe do one midway through the season, and then do my reaction to the end of next season of it. So yeah, I'll probably do that next week. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you all soon.